Andito ngayon kasama ko si Dr. Raquel Fortun. She's the head of the pathology department of the Philippine General Hospital. And her background is known to the people who know pathology and medical legal services in the country and criminal investigations. Maybe we can call her the foremost authority in the country right now. We will be posting the autopsy itself, the autopsy findings, in the DOJ page so that the members of media can look at this written report that we have right now. Okay, so I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Fortun to shed light on her findings regards to the autopsy conducted to June Villamor A. Globa.
Good morning. Well, my involvement here started on social media, where people usually ask me what I think of some controversial death. But formally, I was asked by Secretary Remulla, I think on a Monday, we had a phone call, and I told him, yes, it can be done, what it takes. And first and foremost, I asked for an authorization because the Mabasa family themselves cannot actually, that's not what I need if I'm going to ask for a consent. And that was arranged. And Secretary Remulla had been very transparent about my needs and my questions. And in fact, if not for the information I got from DOJ's investigation, then I would not have gone this far because I was prepared to just say this much. Okay, and I'll explain to you what has transpired. Alright, so basically, the body was brought to us finally on October 25 in the afternoon. But then at that time, I did not have that authorization letter yet. I did not want to open up the body without it. NBI went. So the body was brought to us by the Bureau of Corrections officials and turned over properly and so on. We signed for it. And then shortly after, NBI sent apparently a team to observe. But I said, no, I'm not going to examine the body yet. And I was also hesitant because they came with a full team of 2 doctors and about 3 others, including a videographer. You know, we do not do autopsies like that. And I know that they had already seen the body themselves, so what's the point? We document our findings. Right? So anyway, I coordinated with Dr. Maria Cecilia Lim, also a forensic pathologist, and the vice chair of the Department of Pathology. It's at PJH, it's the UP College of Medicine. So also in the same department, and I requested that she be the one to be there. NBI also consults her. So we scheduled the actual autopsy the following day in the morning. So this would be October 26. And it took us that whole morning. We finished by 11:30. And the body was well preserved, post-autopsy, post-embalmed. The embalming was good. We were expecting that formalin fumes would be overwhelming. We encountered that a lot. But this time around, the body was right for examination. Okay? And so we documented everything, the embalming sites, the autopsy incisions, and all the details are in the report. Okay? That's why it's 6 pages long. It's very much detailed. I'll just focus on the front sheet where it has pathologic diagnosis and what we call the opinion, right? And so to summarize, the most pertinent findings would be, number 1, history of asphyxia by plastic bag suffocation. 2, pulmonary congestion, edema, and hemorrhages. 3, schistosomiasis of the liver. It's an incidental finding. It's a parasitic infection. I believe he comes from Leyte, Samar area, and that's kind of endemic in that area. Number 4, status post-autopsy. Number 5, status post-embalming. Number 6, evidence of medical intervention consisting of a needle puncture mark on the dorsal right hand. Well, I saw this on, zooming in on the pictures, and I'm not too sure at this point if the Bucor Hospital did this, because sometimes when you bring bodies to the hospital, they automatically try and look for a vein there. I don't have records of what they did, what they saw in that hospital, but this is not really that significant. All right, and then I have here an opinion, and it reads, this is the case of a 42-year-old male who was an inmate incarcerated at the New Bilibid prison when he was allegedly found unresponsive and pronounced dead at the NBP hospital on October 18, 2022. The cause of death was certified as, in quotation marks, dead on arrival, undetermined, for autopsy. The embalmed remains were autopsied on October 20, 2022 by the National Bureau of Investigation. A second autopsy was conducted on October 26, 2022. There is information that he expressed fear for his life shortly before his demise, and that he died from suffocation by means of a plastic bag over his head. The autopsy findings showed no gross morphologic cause of death, and this is consistent with the reported asphyxia. Limitations were encountered in the examination due to the postmortem interval, the previous embalming, and autopsy. Preliminary urine toxicology showed methamphetamine. Based on available information regarding the circumstances surrounding death, the manner is homicide. Okay, so when I was constantly discussing the case with Secretary Remulla, and at first I said I did not find anything, meaning he was not sick of something serious, no significant injuries also. So external and internal findings were negative, and at first I was about to say that that's it, there's no cause of death, and the manner would be classified as what we call undetermined. However, information trickled in. I noted it here, and this is very important, that he had an inkling that he was in danger, and true enough, shortly after, he died. And this sense, this feeling of impending death actually was transmitted to someone, and this information is credible. So I had to consider that. So I was about to write as manner of death, probable homicide. However, again, additional information was that there's an account of someone now explaining how he died. And I remember Secretary Remulla asking me, plastic bag. And I said, pwede. Actually, pwede. So when you look at a case like this, it's totality of evidence. When I refer to manner, it is how the person died. Cause would be why. Okay? And to say how, you have to look at everything, including the circumstances. And I really had to factor in the two things, that he knew he was about to die, and he did. And two, that someone actually offered an explanation of, cause. And taking everything into consideration, it is consistent. No morphologic findings. And yes, putting a plastic bag over one's head, it can be very effective. Questions?
We're opening the floor to questions, and I will explain something later again after the questions are through.